So we are discussing about the SAP monitoring related transaction code, performance monitoring related transaction code. So in case of if a issue, if a slowness, so where to check, what to check, we know. ST02, ST03 is the very useful, ST03 is the very useful to check the load. Here we can check the load of the system here, how the system is performing, how the system is behaving. So all the information, it will be so displayed here. All the information here we can check it out. All the information we can check it out. Here 15th load. Yesterday only 14th. Yesterday 15th load also it's displayed. 15th load also it's displayed here. So it's displayed. 15th load also here it is displayed here. And also SMLG, this kind of response time. Here we can check the response time of the system. Here, so during the starting, it's like it's 7,000 milliseconds, 7,000 milliseconds. So drastically it will go. Now if you check system got restarted, if you check the ST02, the ball buffers will come to the swaps will come to the zero status. See here CA buffer yesterday it's like it's a nearly there is no free space, just KB. Now you see now you see here now you see it's fine now. Why? Because after the restart temporary storage buffers are temporary storage area. After the restart, so buffers will come, then swaps will become zero status. Means it's a free. Now see system is very free here. Now you see program buffer 67%. So 94, 91. So it's like very it's decreased. It's decreased. So when you are start using the system, it will be increased. It will be increased when you are start using the system. Now you observe after 1 hour, 2 hours. So this swaps after 1 hour, 2 hours. So it will be it will be it will be increased. The swaps will be increased. So coming to the ST01. ST01 is the system trace. ST01 is for the system trace. That is what we discussed yesterday. System trace. So ST01 is for the system trace. In case if any issues in the system, if any issues, maybe kernel issues, we are getting some kernel function issues, right? Some DB access related issues. So some errors will not be tracked in the work directory or your ST22 rebop dump. It will not be tracked. So in this case, you need to enable the trace. For that one, just click on the trace, just wait for some time or ask user to reproduce the issue. Whatever he is facing, we can reproduce the issue here. Then switch off the trace, just go to the analysis and see what is happening in the system. What is happening in the system. So the trace, we can open it. The trace, the logs, it will be displayed here. The log will be displayed here. The log.
Your trace records automatically it is selecting. We have to select again particularly
Yeah,
manually.
we have to manually select it. Whatever you required, we have to manually select it. Okay, depends upon the your thing. So we have to manually select the traces. What trace records you required. See here. So on a particular day, some traces are selected. So those records are giving the errors here. You can see. So some functions, some parameter, something is giving the error on the day. What's happening? So what is the table? It is read. Then all the information, what is the program? It is called. So you can see the all the information here. So if you are unable to find out the issue, if you raise the ticket with our SAP team, they will ask these traces. They will ask these traces. So based on that, their developers they will find out the issue. So what is happening here? What is happening here? So what is happening here? So why? What is they will find out the more information from here. So more information from here. So they will ask the trace. We can collect the trace from the system. So what's happening in the exactly in the system? So those traces we can find out from the ST01. So here, so you can collect it manually. You need to select it. If you want to select the all, you can select the all the types of traces. No, you don't have any requirement to select all. You have requirement only select the. So suppose like RFC calls, you can select the only RFC calls here. So that's the trace. That's the trace here. So let's select only turn on only so these two. Okay. Just see how much logs will be collected during the today's and tomorrow. Let's see here. Okay. So this is the tracing. So only when ad hoc basis means as and when any issues that time we may have to collect the traces as per the functional or developer team's request. We have to collect the traces here. So ST02 buffers. Okay, buffers. So buffers means it's like frequently accessed data will be stored in the buffers here. Frequently accessed data, as I mentioned yesterday, the frequent changes will be mentioned in this buffers here. So there the multiple buffers are available here. Name tab buffer, GUI buffer, program buffer, screens buffer means in this, suppose program buffer, all programs will be stored in this buffer. Screens buffer, all the screens will be stored in this buffer, right? In SAP level, right? The first of all, data will pick up from this buffers. Data will pick up from this buffers. So if there is no data in the buffer, then it will go to the database level. It will search it out here. When the requests are going to the database level, out of 100, 95 requests should be go to the buffers only. Remaining 5 should go to the buffer. That is the good system performance here. If the system is directly going to the database level to pull the data, then you may get the some slowness. You may get the some slowness here. That is what yesterday we checked here. It ratio. It ratio means out of 100 requests, how many requests are going to the buffers? How many are going to the database level? What is the allocated space? What is the free? What is the free percentage here? All the information will be tracked here. So in case of free is over, free percentage is over, then immediately as a symptoms, you will get the swaps here. The swaps count you will get from here. The swap count you will get from here. Yesterday we see there are multiple things here yesterday, right? Multiple swaps here. Now today you see 0. Why? Because we restarted. So here we see today we restarted here. So you can check the current parameters. What is the values also configured here? Each buffer, what is the size it is calculated. If you want to increase, you can go to the profile parameters in RZ10 or RZ11. There you can increase the this parameters and everything. You can increase it here, right? The table buffer, screen buffer, export, import, OTR. There are a number of buffers are there. Each buffer it will store the related objects it will be stored here. Related objects will be stored here. Okay. So that is the main thing here of the swaps and it ratio yesterday what we discussed here. Then if I give same overview on the ST03, it is the workload analysis. Workload analysis here, right? Workload analysis here. In the workload analysis here, you see system related analysis. So how the SAP system is behaving for the users. So what is the response times? How faster the response time here? So per day wise, minutes wise, so hourly wise, so daily wise, minutes wise, 10 minutes wise. So how you want to calculate the data, you can calculate it. How you want to calculate the data, you can calculate it. Depends upon your minutes. You want to calculate the 5 minutes data, 10 minutes data, you can calculate it here. You want to daily wise, monthly wise, weekly wise, you want to calculate the data. So you can calculate the data on the monthly wise, weekly wise also. You can calculate it, right? So this is the workload analysis here. So which means as part of this workload analysis here, we need to mainly as part of the monitoring also we need to concentrate on this dialogue response time. If the dialogue response time is not more than 2 minutes actually. So as per the every organization, some organization they have the 4 minutes, some organization they have the 3 minutes. So means the response time should not breach more than 2 minutes. If more than 2 minutes means, so which means dialogue work process taking average your dialogue process average 2 minutes which is taking to complete your request, which means 2 minutes means okay fine. So more than 2 minutes means it's not acceptable. So some system related issues here. So where this the CPU time it is taking or DB time it is taking. So in which way, what is happening in that particular day here? How many transactions are happening here? So what are the time frame here? So what are the transactions are happening on the particular day here? So we can find out on the particular day 15. So one day, what are the transactions are happened here? So who executed these transactions here? So all the information we can find out from here. So if you check this job response time is very high. This response time is very high here. So if this is a job here, reorg, this job is running very longer time. So if you find out what's happening with this job, why is taking very longer time here, very longer time here, very longer time. So or very much time it is taking here. So if you check this job logs are, so what's happening in this job, we can find out something here. So there is duration is okay. But let me check the previous runs also, the previous duration also. So why this is taking very longer time here? The previous duration, so I think on 15th, you see it was executed very longer duration. The remaining days, it's completed very few seconds, few minutes, it's completed. But on 15th, you see it's a very longer run here. You need to check why this job got executed very longer duration here. So after that, it got cancelled. After that, it got cancelled here. After that, so it got cancelled. Maybe to manually cancel the process. Someone manually cancelled this process here. So is there any index issue? Not exist. Not exist. So some Z program, something is not exist in the system. So that is the reason. So here it's showing that not exist. That is the reason it's showing that not exist, something like that. So this program on the day it has executed, but after that 16th fine, 17th fine, so 14th fine, only 15th it has happened, only 140 during that time here. So we need to check on the 15th what exactly happened in the system. Is there any restart happened? So we need to check all the areas. We need to troubleshoot it here. On the 15th, so on the 15th, in which hour it's a very high response here. In the 0 to 6th hour. In the 0 to 6th hour, what are the transactions are executed, right? This is the one job which is executed. After that, one more job executed. So here, mostly the background jobs are taking longer time. So remaining STMS is our guys only executed. So remaining all are our thing only executed. So that no issue. So only the jobs are causing the issues here in the system. So like that, we can filter it out. We can do the analysis. That is what we discussed yesterday here, right? Up to here we discussed it. The next one is called the ST04. ST04. It's a DB performance related transaction code. So they are the one single transaction code for the all the database related DBA cockpit transaction code here. It's kind of database related transaction code. So if you use this one transaction code, or you can use the DB04, DB12, DB01, DB13, so DB14, right? So DB02, so DB02. So all these are the database related. All these related are the database related. If you use all these transaction codes or one by one, or if you use the one single transaction code, that is called the DBA cockpit, which means database related. So if you go to the DBA cockpit, so you will see all the database related information here. All the database related information from here, right? So database, how is your database landscape? So all the information we can see it here. Space, this is the DB02, backup and recovery, DB13, ST04 performance. So all the transaction codes, they have created a separate folder here. Suppose you see same screen, I will use the same DB0, so ST04, right? ST04. See, you got the same screen here. See here, you got the same screen, you got it here, right? ST04, right? ST, so that is after that DB01, DB01. So that is called the DB locks. In SAP level, SM12, how the lock entry is here, the DB level also we can see the any deadlock, any blocking locks, any deadlocks, we can see it from here. Any DB level, any deadlock, definitely we need to do the restarts. There is no way to kill the database locks here. Only only restart can help to clear the locks here. Normally it won't happen. In case of it happens, then we need to restart the system here. Right? That is the one thing here. That is the DB01 DB locks here. Right? DB01 DB locks. Right? So here let me write for individual ST04. So database performance, DB performance overview, which is performance overview here, right? So DB12, so backup logs here. So if you go to the DB12 here, if you go to the DB12 here, the database backup logs, you can see it here. Are there any database backups are happened or not? So here you will give the clear information here. Here you will get the clear information here. Are there any backups or are not? Here we will see the backups related information here. So backup logs here. So then DB01, DB13, DBA planning calendar, DBA planning calendar, DBA planning calendar. So DB13 here, DB13 here, DB13 is for the DBA planning calendar here. So here you can see the, so all the functions here. Suppose, so you want to schedule something here. You want to run the backup from here. You want to run the consistency check. You want to run the backup. So whatever you want to run it. So here you can add the actions here. You can add the actions here. Then so you can take the respective things here. Suppose you can add the action, depends upon the date. Then what you want to check here? You want to database consistency check. So you want to just add to the planning calendar. You want to run every day, every month. What you want to run it here? What you want to run it here? So you want to run every day here, so that you can check it out here. So recurrence. So means it kind of job scheduling, database related job scheduling here. So few things we can schedule it here. Few things we can schedule it here. So those will be executed. Those will be executed every day as per the our timeline here. As per the timeline, those will be executed in the system here. So that is what here I can see here, database planning calendar. So if anything database related, anything you want to see, more you will get in the time of database topics here. You will get the database things, more things you will get it out here. You want to check the backup, you want to take the transaction lag, whatever it may be. You can just add this thing to the planning calendar here, so that we can take it here, right? So that is what here we can do the activity here. Okay. So this is the DBA planning calendar here. Means each day what are the tasks are scheduled. It will give the information each day what are the tasks are scheduled. So all the information it will give in the DBA planning calendar. Just remember the transaction code here. Okay. Next one is called the, so DB14 here. This is also it kind of planning calendar only. DB14 also planning. DB13, 14, sorry, DB14. So DB14 is not supported, is not there. I think they have removed the DB14. Okay. Next one is the DB02. DB02 is the database space, tables, all the information we can check it out here. Space related information we can check how much database space and everything. Means, so if you have SAP level access to the all these transaction codes, you don't need to log into the database level to check the database performance here. So from SAP level, you can use the transaction code to check the, so database related all the information and everything here, all the information you can check from SAP level also here. You don't need so database level access specially. Just to go to your SAP related transaction code, we can view the, so DB related all those things we can view it from here. We can view it from here also. We can get it out from here, right? This is the transaction code. Individually, you can check in the respective things here. Otherwise, instead of using all the database related individual transaction codes, you can use the single transaction code for database administration purpose. You can use the DBA cockpit here. DBA cockpit here. So if you use the DBA cockpit, so same screens you will get, same tabs you will get it out from here. Same tabs. Suppose if I go here, if I use DBA cockpit here you will see the all the database related information you will get from here. So here in the left side, you want to check the performance. You want to check the system DB connection monitoring performance. You can check the DB performance. You want to check the logs, DB01. You want to check the memory. You want to check the database level process here. So all the information we can check from here. All the information we can check from here. So you want to check the space. So single table, large table, fast growing tables. So all the information we can pull from the in the DBA cockpit. These are the database related. So when we are discussing about the next HANA database administration, that time you will get more. So why DB is very important for the SAP systems here? Why? Because whatever you are searching from here, even the SAP is up and running means because of the database is running fine. That is the reason here. So how fast database is responding, how fast giving the response to the SAP, then so it will give the. So now see here, it is retrieving the table size history from the database level. It is retrieving the database level. It is retrieving the data from here. So now how fast it is retrieving, that is the main thing here. Now see, so it is increasing, the buffer sizes are increasing. Why? Because we are frequently accessing after the restart, we are accessing the systems and performance, everything here. So we are frequently accessing the data here, so that buffers will be filled with frequently accessed data. Buffers filled with frequently accessed data, it will be filled here, right? Then here we can see the history, right? So large table history, we are checking the top fast growing table, which tables are growing very fast here. Data is inserting which tables very fast. So SAP is calculating. SAP initiated the request to the database level. The database level, it is calculating all the information. Then once it has got the information, it will give the response back to the in our screen, user screen. So that is what here it is retrieving the table history here, right? So anything, so you can check the backup configurations, alerts, any errors, so history, performance related, database related, anything, you can just go to the DBA cockpit transaction code. DBA cockpit transaction code. Here you can check the all the information related database. So SAP related all the load performance, you can check the ST03. So DB related, we have the 3 layers, right? We have the 3 layers: SAP OS layer, SAP and DB layer, right? DB layers, and so network layer. OS, it will comes in the OS layer. Network also will comes under the OS. That's why we have the 3 layers. Total 3 layers we have in SAP. One is the OS layer, then SAP layer, then DB layer. So if any performance issues in the system, first of all, these 3 layers we need to investigate it, right? So OS, operating system level, how it is behaving, what is the CPU, what is the memory, then how the space allocation in the, so here, this is the, we can check it out here. SAP level, we can go to the ST03 transaction code, we can analyze the load, what are the jobs, what are the transactions are causing the high performance, or all the information, we can check it out here. So DB related, we can go to the DBA cockpit. Here we can find out the database means in the database level, we have the space, right? So database related space, how the space is, database related any alerts, all those things we can check it out. Performance, how is the performance of the database, space, tables, growth, all the information will be available here. All the information will be available here. So those things we can check it out from here in the so DB0 DBA cockpit transaction code here. Then After that, so now we have the one more layer that is called the OS layer, operating system layer. So this will come. Now 01, 02, 03 completed, 04 also completed. Now ST05, ST05 here. ST05 is for the, it's kind of ST05 is for the performance trace here. That is also ST01, 05 are both are the traces. Depends upon the functionality, we will enable the traces here, right? So it's SQL trace, buffer trace, NQL trace. Both are the different traces. If you want to run the additional functionalities, additional traces, so we can enable the traces here. You can, both are traces. ST01, 05 are the traces only. So here, performance related traces here. System performance is very bad here. System performance is very bad here. Then you want to enable, just select it. Then, so then display the trace. The trace will be displayed here. The trace will be displayed in the system here. Suppose now it's taking some time to pull the data here, right? So taking the some time to pull the data here. So within fraction of seconds, see here how much data it got pulled from the performance analysis. Performance analysis. So how many records and what is the duration here? Indeed, which one in which time stamp is taking the longer duration here? In the longer duration here. So we can find out from the system here. So this is a very huge duration here. A very huge duration. What is the table? What is the program? This is the table. This is the table going and checking in the table. It's taking longer time here. So this way we can analyze the some performance. This is a very high response. So what is the table here? This is the table here, right? CSMBK underscore OB2. This is the program here. Why this program is taking very longer time here, right? So very longer duration. In this program, how the request is going and checking in the database level. So how it is initiating the statements here. So these all are will be initiated by the SAP only. SAP will initiate the everything. In the front end, just you are clicking the transactions, but back end, SAP will initiate the statements, DDL and DML statements, SQL statements, it will initiate it to pull the data from the database level, to pull the data from the database level. To pull the data from the database level, it will initiate this thing here, right? See here, we have the, so the top growing tables got top 2820 growing tables in the schema per day. Per day, how many tables are growing? You can see here. 2000 plus tables are growing here. Means per day, these tables are, data is getting inserted into these tables here. Data is getting inserted into these tables here. That's why per day, how much tables, how much data. So you can see the tables here. What is the tables and what is the data here? Is there any index? Is there any reserved? All the information you will get more, right? So all the data details will be displayed, the top growing details. So any tables you have can export to the spreadsheet or local file, you can export it, all the data here. Suppose tomorrow your manager asked you to provide the top growing tables list. Then you can just pull the from the here, then you can export to the, you can export it, you can send to the here, right? So largest tables rate. This all information we can get it out from the systems here, Dbacockpit. Single transaction code, Dbacockpit. So this is the ST05, which means, so performance trace here, which means how the system is behaving, how the performance is where the, it's taking very longer time here, in which step the system is taking longer step here. I have opened, just closed, I have opened, just deactivated the trace, just again I'm displaying the trace in a fraction of seconds. So see here how much time it's taken here. Well, because how much time it's taken to get the response from the systems here. Very less. It's all are very less here. Very less here. But here you can see what are the tables it is reading and what is the statement is it initiated. In that statement, how many records it's pulled, what is the duration of this thing, all the information it will be grabbed here. All the information it is getting, that it will get what is the duration of the each and every table it's taking. By database level, data will be stored into the table level, right? Table level. How fast SAP is going to put the data table level. So all the information we can see it from here. All the information we can see it from here also, right? This is the performance trace. So sometimes we may get we may have issues like system is very slowness. So that time we need to find out. Sometimes one of the transaction code is taking very longer time. Suppose the sales related transaction code. Yesterday we have seen the MyGo related transaction codes. So maintain the HR related transaction code taking some time. So that time we can enable the trace in ST05. We can quickly enable the trace. Then once we got the screen, now see, let's wait for some time. Let's wait for some time. Okay, we got the screens, outbound delivery screens. We got it now. Okay, so now we need to check where it got displayed, delayed, where in which screen this got delayed here. So why this much of time taken here? So this information we can track in ST05 performance trace. We can take it out here. ST05 in the performance trace, we can filter it out all the information here. So why it is taking very longer duration, all the information we can take it from ST05. So this 01, so then 05, 01 and 05 are the trace related information only. Ad hoc basis, as and when request, we need to collect the traces manually, select the trace, and so we need to find out here. So you will get a request from your developers or functional people to collect the traces. So then you need to collect the traces here. Then SAP also will suggest sometimes to collect the SQL trace or RFC trace. Then you need to collect it. Then you have to provide the information here. You need to collect it. You have to provide the information to the SAP here. So that is called the ST05, right? So 04 is for the database related. Instead of we can use the Dbacockpit here. So now the third layer is called the ST06. ST06 here. This is the OS level monitoring here, operating system level monitoring here. Suppose database level Dbacockpit. In the Dbacockpit, we can monitor the database related, all those things we can monitor it here, right? So, and SAP level ST03 workload, we can see, monitor it. Then what about the operating system level? Operating system level monitoring, you don't need operating system level access. Just if you have the SAP level access, just go to the ST06 is the transaction code to check the OS level. What is the operating system? So what is the response time here? So what is the system utilization percentage? In out of 100%, how much percentage it is utilizing by the system? User how much? Very less. Idle percentage 92. So means free. Idle means free percentage here. Means 92% system is very free. How many CPUs we have? 8. In that, how many cores? 8. So what is the free memory percentage? 23%. So what is the physical memory? 21 GB. What is the free memory? 5 GB. What is the swap here? You allocated. So you can see all the memory. OS level means operating system level means what will be there in the operating system level? CPU, memory, file systems, all the disks and everything, right? All the information we can check it out from here. What is the memory usage? So what is the memory usage here? What is the disk usage here? Means your C drive, E drive, the file systems here. What is the network usage here? LAN cable. So your Intel. So what is the LAN network errors? Are there any network errors here? Nothing, right? So what are the top 40 CPU consumption process here? Your SQL process, SAP Start SRV, SAP Logon Pad, someone Naresh Babu is using. And so same in the task manager, how we will monitor the operating system level performance here. So same way, task manager, operating system level, how we can monitor it here. So same way we can monitor everything from the here, right? Everything we can monitor from here, right? So and also not only here, history, the previous hours related information also we can monitor it here. The previous hours information also we can monitor. The previous hours, what is the system utilization. This one is very less. That is fine. So the always the idle percentage should be, so minimum 10% should be idle. 10% should be idle. Here we have the 90 plus is idle. So which means system is very free. System is very free here. Sometimes it's fully overloaded, fully overloaded. So that time we have to so take it how the CPU is behaving, how the system is responding. Why? Because so these are the base CPUs, memory, network. These are the main to run the system. These are the infrastructure side. These are very important here to get the how much memory it is utilizing in each hour, in which hour, in the 23 24 hours, in which hour we have the very high memory consumption here, very high memory consumption here. So it will give the some response here, right? We can check it here, very less response. We have restarted, that's why we have some memory here. Then in this way, in the third hour, we have the less free percentage here. Like that, we can see here memory usage and everything here. So and also the disk, the file system space levels also how it is utilizing here. So these are 95% utilization here in the today the third hour number 3 o'clock. It's like 93% here. So then later it is decreased. So this much of utilization. All the information we can find out from the here. So this is the operating system level history. We can find out. Really, you don't need operating system level access, right? When you are in the SAP, just you can monitor the OS related information from the so ST06, right? You want to check the database related performance. Why? Because Dbacockpit. If you have a separate DB team, they will take care of the database related. So if you don't have the database team, then we are responsible to check the database related. So as a monitoring, we have to go to this transaction codes. We have to monitor the database related things here. Why? Because we are the administrators. So always we have to worry about the three layers: operating system layer, database layer, SAP layer. Three layers we need to worry about this. Three layers, if you know the transaction codes to monitor, it's very simple to understand. So what's happening with the work system? So what is happening with the work system? All the information we can track it here, right? So it's a very important. So ST06 OS level, operating system level monitoring here. Operating system means what will be there in the OS level. So RAM, network, okay, then CPUs, then RAM memory, that is fine. Then disks, file system, free space. So all the information we can track it from here, right? So what is your operating system? What is the timestamp? What is the host name? Who is the manufacturer? So then, so what is the idle time here? What is the system user relation? So all the information you can see it here. You want to check the previous hours, you can check the previous hours. We can check the history also here, right? So all the information we can check from here also. We can check it from here. Okay. So that is the one thing we can see in the system here. So network, file systems. So all the information, C drive, what is the free space, so percentage. So all the information we can see it from here, right? So you don't need to go to the OS level, operating system level, check the free space, all the information here. Just one single transaction code at SAP level, you can monitor the all the information from here, all the information from here. That is the so operating system level. Then Dbacockpit database level, ST03 SAP level monitoring. So if you are familiar with these three layers, any issues you can fix, you can identify in SAP level, right? So first operating system level is the very important. On top of operating system, you will install the database on the SAP. So these two layers, if you start troubleshooting these three layers, then somewhere you will find out the error or slowness. So based on that, you can find out it's not the SAP issue, it's a DB issue, the database level. So this is the table like that we can find out from here, right? So that is the ST06 and performance. The next one is the ST01. This is called this is nothing, just a small transaction code ST07 here. ST07 here. This is called the application call load distribution. Application call load distribution here, which means so application call application monitor. Application monitor means So all the users, you have the 39 users. So in the 39 users, so in the total you have the 39 users, number of servers one. So in the basis, how many basis components are using? Two currently, two active users here. In that other components are using by the only one user here. So all the information, this is not much important, but just you can remember application monitor user distribution. We can find out from here. So we have the basis components, above components, HR components, all the components are here. So in out of is, who is using the basis components here? So how many users are using here? Then here, what are the other users are using here? Other users in the basis, what are the other? Someone using the above runtime environment. One user is using the above runtime environment here. So one user is checking the syntax error and compiles error. Is in the menu. So all the information, one user. If you go to the AL08 here, here you can find out who is using the so AL08 and Dbacockpit transaction codes, all the information you can get it from here, right? So here can get it from here. All the information we can get from here, right? So that is the ST07, right? Application monitor in the system, just to application monitor, all the information we can see it from here, right? This is the application monitor here, just to see the just a small transaction code here. So up to here we have the so transaction code. These are the SAP performance related transaction codes here. Two, if any issues, slowness, user slowness, or one user slowness, one transaction code slowness, then immediately we can enable the trace ST01 or 05. Then we can perform the analysis. So if any issues in the system, some issues, some errors, then definitely we need to go to these three layers. We need to look into it. These three layers are very important here. These three layers are very important. This three level we have to investigate it. So somewhere you will find out whether is the CPU issues or memory issues, which is the memory, which process consuming the very high memory, SAP issue, in which day, which job. So and DBA, so what is the space, memory, all the information we can check it out from these three. So these three are very, very much important to find out the troubleshooting, investigations and everything here, right? So these are the very, very important transaction codes. You can remember it. Okay. So once this is completed, we have some other transaction codes like that. I will explain it. Monday, SMQ1, Qs, SMQ2, SMQR, SMQS. This is very important. Then RFC type. So RFC type, synchronous RFC, that will come here only in this transaction code only. Then memory management will come, SAP memory management. Then we have the kernel upgrade, then SAP upgrades will come. So we have other topics. So these are the small topics are pending. So that we will go the next week. Okay. So that is the very important. Okay. This week we can practice all those things. Okay. So any questions from anyone? So start using this transaction codes. Okay.